Hello everyone, Camille here from 88 Fitness Training. Joining me today is IFBB Pro, James Houston. And together we're gonna go through the top 10 things I wish I knew before my first bodybuilding competition. So this is gonna be a two-part video, so stay tuned, check it out. This is for all those first-time competitors. All right, so part two. All right, we're gonna start up again. We're on tip number 6. So this is going to be cardio is a tool. So we started to kind of allude to this in the prior number 5.
Got ahead of myself a little bit.
But cardio is a tool. So when you're leaning out for a show, it's all about creating an energy deficit in order to reduce the body fat. So now when you're starting a prep, if you're super efficient at cardio, you've got nowhere to go but up. So if you're already doing an hour a day, 7 days a week, you're gonna have to add more cardio. So keep that in mind as you prepare for a show.
That is correct. So you have your starting point here. Here's your starting point. All we can do is add more cardio. We can't take cardio away.
Right.
So if your starting point, you're already doing an hour cardio every single day, guess what?
Absolutely.
You just went to an hour and 10 every single day. So I would advise not to be efficient at cardio while you're bulking. Keep it to a bare minimum, if any at all.
Definitely. So you can do your cardio for cardiovascular health, but again, I would keep that 2-3 days a week, 30-45 minutes max. That way when you're starting your contest prep, you can start at a very small amount and then increasingly add more and more to get that energy deficit.
There's only 2 seasons in the sport, bulking and cutting.
Yes.
And there's no reason to do cardio while you're bulking.
Yes.
There's no reason to do excess cardio while you're bulking. You want to do a little bit of cardio for health? Great, go for it. I do cardio twice a week, 30 minutes while I'm bulking. That's it. I'm not going to add more until it's time to cut.
No.
There's no need. You're bulking, you're trying to put on lean mass.
Right.
Doing cardio is counterproductive to that.
Absolutely. I've had clients that say, you know, hey, can I go run this marathon? I'm like, well, do you need to train for the marathon? Because I really only want you doing the prescribed amount of cardio and not exceeding that day to day. And if you are doing something like that, make sure your coach knows that you've added extra cardio in, because they think that you're tracking to a certain plan, but really you're doing more. And that's not a good thing either.
So let's back up. Ask your coach before you do more. Don't do more and then say, hey coach, I did more.
Right. But again, it is a tool. So some people, this is an interesting one, some people would actually rather do more cardio and eat more than eat less and have, you know, less cardio. So that is a thing too. Like if you're saying, hey coach, I'm hungry, I'd rather do more cardio, maybe have that conversation. But it doesn't matter. No coach is going to want to add a whole lot of cardio in the beginning part to get you to lose weight, because they need it at the end of the prep to really like peel off that last, you know, little bit of body fat on you.
I mean, realistically, if you start your prep doing an hour of cardio 7 days a week, by the end of your prep, you're going to be over 2 hours. Absolutely. Well over 2 hours of cardio 7 days a week. So peel back your cardio, man.
And yeah, let's talk about that. So remember in the first tip, we talked about kind of doing that self-assessment and how much weight do you need to lose for the stage. I've done it where I had to drop down close to 40 pounds to get to my stage weight. And it was not fun, because towards the end, and even I didn't even start with doing a lot of cardio. I started 3 days a week, half hour. But the prep was so long that by the time I got to the end, I had to do 3 hours of cardio a day on top of lifting at a very extreme caloric deficit in order to keep hitting that rate of loss to make the show day. So in that case, it's like I would have been better saying, hey, I need to pick a different show date, take some diet breaks in there, break it up, so I wouldn't have to do 3 hours.
So basically she was playing catch up.
Right.
And wasn't ready when she should have been ready. So if you decide, if you are there and decide I'm still going to do this show,
just be prepared.
Be ready to do some serious cardio.
Absolutely.
3-4 hours a day.
And that's where things like injuries and things pop in, because you're not at your best, you don't have the energy, and you're having to expend this extreme amount of energy every day.
Yeah.
So.
And just remember, if I can give you one tip, remember, all we can do is add more cardio. So start at 0 and you only have to add a little bit.
Yeah, and so again, everyone's different. If you're training on a big team and the person next to you is already at an hour and you're at a half hour and you're like, hey, what's going on?
Different.
You're just different. Maybe you don't need that extra cardio right now and they do, so.
Or they're losing weight faster than you.
Right.
Or
Don't
they're
worry.
ahead of you in the game. They don't need to lose as much, etc.
Exactly. Number 7, it's going to be on workout intensity. So there's a misconception that all of a sudden when you're in contest prep, your workouts change. I'm here to tell you that they don't. You're still hitting the same level of intensity in those workouts that you were before.
Better believe it. It's intensity, it's effort. Think about your competition. If you don't think they're putting intensity and effort, you're crazy. Man.
Right.
There's clips of Ronnie Coleman a week out from the Olympia, front squatting 800 pounds. I mean, come on. The workouts don't change. The intensity don't change. You're going to lose some strength.
Absolutely.
You're going to be dragging, but you have to dig deep and give all you got into that workout if you want to keep up and you want to beat your competition.
Absolutely. I've even seen people actually put on size and things. It is possible because the level of intensity was there. So like the number one thing for size is usually stimulus. So you always want to approach it with high intensity, as much effort as you can. I mean, realize that you may not be able to hit the same weights, but the goal is always to try to progressive overload.
Yep. Give it all you got. And if you're giving it all you got while you're bulking, you're used to it. Nothing's going to change.
Absolutely.
I actually despise doing a half workout. I can't, if I'm not 100%, I will probably skip the workout instead of going and just limping through one.
Absolutely.
There's no point. It's junk volume. You're not doing anything but burning calories. You're not making muscles. So give yourself 100% into every single workout.
Absolutely. And that comes, you got to communicate back and forth with your coach. Don't just go skipping a workout and then not saying anything. Or if you're getting really sore in your workouts and you're not recovering before the next one, again, you need to speak up. Don't keep battering yourself.
Yes. And you have to have that relationship with your coach so they know you well enough to know that they're not skipping, they're not cheating, they're not, this person gives 100% all the freaking time. So if they're telling me they need one day off, I'm going to give it to them. Now, you come in here and you mess around, you're not giving 100%, and you tell me you're tired, you need a day off, I might say get it together. But know your coach, know your clients. If you know, I know you're giving it all you got, and you say, hey, coach, I need a day off. I'm 100% giving you that day off.
Yeah. So, again, training style does not need to change. If a coach is like, all of a sudden, your whole workout style has changed to something else, it's not right. Ask some questions.
What's another one? A lot of old myths would be go lighter and higher reps. No, stay heavy. Keep lifting heavy. Don't, with that, you're going to burn calories, but you're going to stop your gains. And probably get even smaller. So don't.
Yeah, that leads to overtraining and things like that if you're adding a lot of junk volume.
Yeah, and if you're bulking and making gains, you shouldn't change anything. Just your diet. The workout shouldn't change one bit. So your weights and reps should remain the same.
You got it.
And keep adding as you go along.
All right, number 8 is to pre-plan everything with contingencies. Kind of goes back to that point about being flexible. Stuff's gonna happen. It might be time to eat and you're stuck in a meeting and you gotta grab something quick. Like I always have extra like ready to drink protein on me, some protein bars, things that fit my macros that if I need to, I can just quickly grab that and not worry about what I had, pre-meal planned.
I will bring my food to my meetings.
He will.
I don't care.
He'll walk out of the meeting to go get his meal.
Yes, I will.
But that's not always feasible. I think the more you pre-plan things, the more successful you are. Sure. So maybe pick a day or a couple days in the week and meal prep your food. Like have them all portioned out in containers. When we're getting ready for a show, I always make my protein, carbs, and fats kind of separate if I can. That way I can kind of grab and go, stack, pair them different ways. And then I know for tracking the macros, like I will build that all in my Fitness Pal or something a day before, 2 days before.
Yes.
And that really helps. I know our athlete, Sam, she loves doing it the week before, and she'll just eat off of the same couple of things every day. That way she knows she's hitting it.
So this whole sport is pre-planned. I mean, you have to know what you're going to eat for the day before the day starts. And that food has to already be made, by the way, unless you're going to cook it that day.
Right.
So this whole sport is pre-planned. We're talking about a prep. Well, you pick a show date and then you back it up 20 weeks or whatever your prep's going to be. Right. So you're already pre-planning 20 weeks out. So this whole sport is pre-planned. I mean, you got to plan ahead and schedule and strategize and do it like that.
Yeah, a lot of clients will make the mistake where even if they like meal prepped on a Sunday or something, they will try to like, eat breakfast, eat lunch, and then they'll try to figure out what can I eat for dinner. But by the time you got to dinner, you may not be able to get the macros to line up and match within the calorie range that you have left.
And it's too late.
So you're literally dialing it in down to like, the very grams in your macros, and that's how you can kind of maximize and make sure you're hitting the nutrition that you need to.
Yeah, and doing it that way is stressful. You don't need any more stress during a prep. So put your food in the day before, 2 days before, 3 days. You know exactly what you're gonna eat, and if you're like me, you know exactly when you're gonna eat it.
Absolutely. And like I said, always have a contingency plan. Things come up, have something that you can just grab or a plan. I know like when my clients, sometimes they'll want to go out to eat, maybe it's a birthday or celebration or whatever, and I tell them, all right, well, you gotta still either eat your food before, take it with you, or find a way to count the calories of where you're eating, which is very difficult. So I really recommend that you just don't go out to eat during this time frame.
Yep.
But it is possible, but it takes a lot of pre-planning and work in order to figure it out in your meal plan.
Sure. So diet and this sport really is like the game of chess. If you play chess, you don't think of your next move. You think of your next 6 moves, your next 7 moves, and the counter moves off of those moves. So think ahead. Hey, I'm going to a Baltimore Ravens game.
Right.
I have to pack my food.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna pack an extra meal just in case I get stuck in traffic. And let me throw another one in there just in case the traffic is that bad.
Absolutely.
So always think ahead.
Absolutely. Same with the training. People are good at working out in the mornings, or sometimes they prefer working out at night. I like working out in the morning because if something for some reason got in my way, like I can kind of readjust. But if you save your workout for the nighttime and something gets in your way, there's no more time left in the day to get it in, and now you've missed your workout, you missed your cardio, and it's too late. So that's another one to keep in mind.
Good point.
Number 9, it's going to be use the professionals that are available for your tanning, your hair, your makeup, contest suits, and etc. So you've busted your hump for the last 12 to 20 weeks. Yep. Why would you skimp on these last few finishing details? Don't do it.
Please don't. Please don't.
So maybe, for the females, we have to have hair and makeup done. Maybe you are really great at makeup, or you have a friend that's really great at makeup. Are they good at stage makeup? Are they good at doing makeup for people that are extremely low body fat? So a lot of times on the females, the face starts to get really hard. You have more like defined cheekbones and jawlines. And so if you're doing things like adding contour and highlights, you almost need to do them in reverse because you're going to accentuate those features and you don't want that. That, or the face ends up way too light compared to the body. So when you're standing on stage, it looks like a light bulb's gone off. And believe me, you've worked so hard and you will be so devastated when you get your contest photos. So when available, absolutely use the venues, hair and makeup, hairstylist people.
Yes, so men don't do hair and makeup. Tanning.
Yes.
Use the venues tanning. Whoever the tanner is, use that person. We went to a show last year, there was a kid doing physique, and he had a great physique. I mean, I give him that. However, he didn't shave his legs. He didn't put his tan on. Right. I mean, he put his own tan on, but it was smeared and it was all over the place. It looked like junk.
Yes.
And the judges almost take offense to that because you didn't do your homework.
Absolutely.
It's very simple. Everybody knows you have to get a tan. Do your homework. Use the tanner that's there. And all you gotta do is pay and make an appointment.
Yep, and it doesn't matter what complexion you are, very fair to very dark, get a tan.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
And use a tanner there because you're going to be the same color as everyone else.
No bronze statues.
Even if you do your own tan and it looks good, you're still going to be a different color than everyone else up on that stage.
Absolutely.
And you're going to look wrong for that.
Yeah, I think you actually made that mistake early on in your career, didn't you?
So I am old school. When I started, there was no tanning companies.
Yeah.
You had to do it at home. And the stuff is nasty. You gotta put 6, 7 coats on over the course of a week. It's getting all over your house. It's getting on your toilet seat. It's getting on your walls. It's getting on your sheets. Just use the tanning people at the venue.
Yeah.
Save yourself some problems. Save yourself a whole bunch of
And it can
frustration.
It can be the difference between winning and losing. So if there's 2 physiques, they're equivalent, like same amount of like muscle mass, same level of conditioning, and one used a different tanner, they look off from everyone else, guess who's losing that day?
True story. My first show, I got 2nd place. I asked the judges for feedback, and they said your tan was jacked up.
Could you imagine?
Fair enough, my tan was supremely jacked up. Back then there were no coaches, there were no gurus, the internet was barely around. So I showed up without a tan on. Luckily my sister was there and we had a can of Dream Tan. All you old school folks that know Dream Tan are going, oh. And she smeared it on me 10 minutes before I went on stage. So it was completely jacked up.
Absolutely.
But I had a better physique and I lost because of that tanning.
Yep.
Lesson learned.
Same for the girls. If there's 2 equivalent girls, one like looks like she just rolled out of bed and didn't do her hair and makeup, and the other one has professional hair and makeup done, guess who's winning? I mean, it's sad to say that it turns into a beauty pageant, but if the physiques are all on par and looking good, then
need
yes.
something to pick.
They have to.
Something to pick. So somebody has to win.
And someone has to lose.
So if the physiques are exact, they're going to start looking at other stuff.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Tip number 10. Get a coach. It's that simple. When it's your first time competing, there's just so much information. We try to go through the top 10 like common things, but there's so much information, and really your focus and effort needs to be on just getting the workouts and the cardio and the diet in, and then let your coach worry about all these other things and what to change. You should just be able to show up and do the work.
Exactly. So I'm a little bit different. I started way back before there were coaches. No such thing as a coach. So I had to learn from mistakes. And this is one of my selling points. I've already made the mistakes, so you don't have to. Believe that.
Absolutely.
And back then, that's how everybody did it because there were no coaches. And then they came out with gurus first. If y'all remember gurus. Gurus turned into coaches. And now they're coaches. They're called coaches. Get yourself a coach. I don't care if they're only showing you how to pose. Get yourself a coach.
Well, that's a good point. There's different kinds. So there's personal trainers. They're going to be really great at building a resistance program, but if they've never trained a competitive athlete, they're not going to really be equipped to help you with that. What you need for that is called a prep coach. And they are familiar with competing and the necessary nuances that need to occur to help you be successful.
100%.
I mean, even like a nutritional counselor or somebody else is not going to really be great at competition diet. So again, that prep coach is really what you need.
So the information's out there. You know, the internet, the books, everything's out there. The coach, what you're paying for is experience.
Right.
The coach knows when stuff's going to happen because he's been there, he's done that. The coach knows what your body's going to do when you react to different things because he's been there, he's done that. Again, this is another selling point for me. I've been there, I've done that so many freaking times at this point, it's just another day at the office.
Right.
But for a first timer, you're literally doing circles backstage because you're lost.
Yes.
And without a coach, you're just going to do circles backstage until they call you and say, get on stage.
Right.
So get yourself a coach.
Absolutely.
Get yourself a coach. I understand if you can't afford one.
It's hard.
You can't afford one. And you still want to compete. Do your homework.
Absolutely.
Anybody that Googles anything, the first thing about a competition would be shaving your body.
Yes.
So if you don't get a coach, it's okay. just do your homework.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of videos. So if you check out our YouTube channel and you look at the playlist called Bodybuilding Prep Chronicles, we have so many videos from like what to pack for your first bodybuilding competition to what to expect backstage to how to pose. So we try to cover it all for you guys and share the information, kind of dispel rumors and myths. So definitely check out that playlist. And if you have questions or there's other videos that'd be helpful to you, just shoot us a comment and we will be happy to film that content.
Absolutely. And you're backstage, if you're with a coach, it's a comforting thing.
Absolutely.
I've done shows completely 100% by myself, and they're not that fun. You're backstage, nobody's talking, nobody's friendly, you're all competition. I had nobody in the audience, I had nobody backstage. I still went in and won the competition. But even if a coach was there just saying, hey, it's time to carb up, or hey, you look great, or hey, it's just another day at the office, man. We've been practicing posing, we've been practicing this for 20 weeks now. Close your eyes, muscle memory, go get it.
Absolutely.
It's a comforting thing, and it's, you know, I can tell you being back there by yourself kind of sucks.
Definitely.
Even when you win, you're still by yourself, it kind of sucks. But get a coach.
You got it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video with the top things I wish I knew before my first bodybuilding competition. So all you first time bodybuilders out there, go ahead and get it. I hope you get that first place trophy.
Heck yeah.
All right, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Camille and James, 88 Fitness Training.